Good morning, welcome to Breakfast with Charlie State and Naga Munchetty.
Our headlines today. Good morning, it's Thursday the 22nd of October. Our top story today. The Chancellor Rishi Sunak is expected to unveil new support for workers in parts of England that are under Tier 2 restrictions. That's the high alert level.
This follows criticism that his winter economic plan was based on a model of falling coronavirus infections and a recovering economy, not extra rules, which have seriously hampered the hospitality sector in particular. Our political correspondent Jonathan Blake has more.
Thank you.
The officer leading the policing response to the coronavirus pandemic has urged the government to make the three-tier rules easier to follow. This is
Phrase for the morning, Carol. What do you think of that phrase, Carol? Intergalactic, what did I say? Welly. How about
Welly,
that?
I think marvellous, Charlie. A very underused word as well. Brilliant. Good morning, everybody. Now, we've got some heavy rain at the moment across the northeast of Scotland. That will clear. And then for most of us today, it's going to be a much drier day than it was yesterday, with some sunny spells. Still a few showers knocking around here and there. So the low pressure is pulling away, but it's yet to pull away the showers across the northeast. And then we've got this little ridge of high pressure building in, settling things down. But it's not going to last. It's all going to change again as we head through tomorrow and even into the weekend. So here's the heavy rain, which the Met Office has a yellow warning out for at the moment. That will move away slowly, leaving a lot of cloud and some spots of rain behind it across eastern parts of Scotland. And you can see some showers dotted around parts of northern England and also one or two getting into the south of England. But that aside, we're looking at a largely dry day. The winds that are still quite gusty in the north and the west continuing to ease, slowly easing in the east as we go through the course of the afternoon. Temperatures 8 to about 17 degrees. So in the south, it still is pretty mild. And as we move further north, we're looking at about 10 or 11 in Aberdeen. Now, through this evening and overnight, there will be some clear skies around, but we're looking at this line of showers coming up from the southwest and drifting towards the southeast. Some of those could be sharp. And at the same time, a new Atlantic front's coming in from the west, introducing some rain. A cooler night for most of us than we've been used to. And if we pick that up tomorrow, we still have some residual showers, some dry weather before this rain moves from the west towards the east, weakening all the time. And then behind it, we're back into that dizzy cocktail of sunshine and showers, some heavy and thundery, potentially with some hail, and feeling cooler across the board. Naga and Charlie.
Carol,
Thanks,
how's your flavonoid intake this morning?
I haven't started it yet, actually, Naga. I'm hoping to do that as soon as I leave the studio.
Are you? And in what form are you going to take your flavonoid?
Oh, poo! I think I'll imbibe it.
Yes, you will. Well done. I'll
Are
take
you going to
can
explain at any point?
No, a little later. I'm just going to leave Carol hanging there because I like doing that to her.
6:15, let's have a look at the front pages. Time now is 6:42.
Now, on yesterday's programme, we took you inside Europe's largest dedicated cancer centre, the Christie in Manchester, to give you an insight into how doctors there have been providing care throughout the pandemic.
Today, we're focusing on the patients. Jamie Cummins has been to meet two of them and hear their stories.
Message there, very clear. The NHS is open. If you are concerned, talk to your doctor. The NHS is ready and willing and keen to treat you if you have any concerns.
Yeah, indeed. Very same message as we heard earlier from our GP this morning, Jamie. Who was saying, you know, all the way along, we've encouraged people to come in, or if you can't come in, which has got complicated, to be in touch with your GP so those things can get diagnosed and recognised early, whether it be cancer or other conditions.
It's 4 minutes to 7. It's time to find out whatever's happening wherever you are in terms of news, travel and weather, and we'll see you at 7 with the headlines.
Good morning, it's Thursday the 22nd of October. Our top story today, the Chancellor Rishi Sunak is expected to unveil new support for workers in parts of England that are under Tier 2 restrictions. That's the high alert level.
This follows criticism that his winter economic plan was based on a model of falling coronavirus infections and a recovering economy. The new measures would apply to a number of cities, including London and Birmingham. Our political correspondent Jonathan Blake has more. It's announced, wasn't it? So that was announced by Rishi Sunak. Now, today, we're going to hear it in a slightly different term. The Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab says he's deeply concerned by reports that a number of people were shot dead at a protest against police brutality in Nigeria.
Those words, that's Carol's philosophy on life, isn't it, really? Just That's Carol on that shoulder.
Well, did you notice Carol's eyes when we ask her a question like that, and she just doesn't quite know where going.
Seen it before. 13 minutes past 7, back with Carol, of course, a bit later on.
We've been talking about it this morning. The Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, is expected to announce extra support later today for businesses hit by the COVID restrictions across England.
Nina's going to be concentrating on that, and she's out and about for us this morning. First, though, let's have a look at some of the measures. Carol, thank you very much.
Thank you. 13 minutes to 8 is the time. People from black and minority ethnic backgrounds will receive workplace risk assessments to offer them extra protection from coronavirus. One of the measures that's been proposed in a government report intended to address the higher prevalence of the virus among ethnic communities.
But some medical experts say focusing on ethnicity isn't the right approach. Our community affairs correspondent Adina Campbell has this report.
Time now is 9 minutes to 8. Now, when it comes to classic British cars, there are plenty of models which can make petrol heads go weak at the knees. The Aston Martin DBS, the Jaguar E-Type, the Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost. Ever thought about the humble Mini Metro?
Yes, that's the car we can see behind us here. The rust-prone runabout turns 40 this year. While it wasn't universally popular at the time, the Metro still has plenty of fans. Before we meet a couple of them, let's get a bit of a history on the car.
Coming through, Nick had a bright orange Metro he bought off from his granddad for £750. He called it great. He says great times in the Tangerine Dream Machine.
I love the detail as well. David Clark got in touch. Mum had 2 of them, mainly okay. I do remember one breaking down, travelling in Dorset. The pet hamster was in the car as well. These are the kind of things you remember, don't they?
Yeah, thanks for that extra bit. I always wanted a Ford Capri. Do you remember those?
Well, they were flash.
They were so flash.
Very professionals.
Very professional. Headlines.
Professionals, as
professionals.
in the TV series.
Oh, as in Bodie and Doyle.
Yeah.
Did they have a Ford Capri?
Yeah.
Headlines are coming up. Morning. OK, thanks very much.
Let's see time now, 8:33. The annual Poppy Appeal is being launched today, but like so many other things this year, it won't be business quite as usual.
The British Legion has devised a plan, though, to help us honour the fallen while also tackling the spread of the new enemy, coronavirus. Tim Muffet has the details.
Just to give you a sense, 77 and 75 years old they are, a married couple, and they've been collecting for their Poppy Appeal for 10 years now. So I'm so sorry we couldn't catch up with them. But in a way, they were the ones who were going to illustrate for us the kind of lengths that people go to and how much it matters.
75 boxes, and they usually travel like 30 or 40 miles around the villages to make sure that the boxes are all there. That's how committed they are to it. Anyway, Barry and Trish, I'm sorry we didn't get to speak to you, but good luck, and maybe we'll speak to you in the future. Mike is here with the sport. You've got some drama on the pitch that you've been quite excited about today.
Well, calamitous own goal.
Delighted there, genuinely delighted. Let's talk to Carol. It's 13 minutes to 9. We're going to get a fuller forecast about what's due. Now, Carol, Charlie and I had a debate this morning. I said it was very mild this morning in Salford when I entered the office, and Charlie said it's really cold. Who was right? Carol. And rain we're embracing today as well. Aren't we,
Yes, in
Charlie?
North East Scotland there's some heavy rain.
Yes, and Carol, because you asked for it, here we go. We're talking about jumping in puddles, and you were talking about the Vicar of Dibley, which is one of those favourite moments, lots of people. You might enjoy this. Have a look.
How many judges are there, and what do you think the main sticking points are going to be?